Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Singleton making the play defensively.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
There's a short throw taken in by Bryant.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. Here's Hurts to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
There's a short throw taken in by Bryant. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Throwing is Hurts. Well, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead, as that leads us to 4th. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This from 54 yards away. And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I'm about to say something that seems really obvious, but you hate to see your kicker miss on the opening drive, because now you're starting to wonder what goes through his head. Is that going to affect him the rest of the game? Is he going to be able to bounce back? You want to show confidence later? What's going to go on with him right out of the gate with a miss?
Yeah, chance to grab the 3-0 lead here at home. Instead, we remain scoreless. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing Nix. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the posts. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They go play action with Hurts. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Dotson in motion right. Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Down the right sideline. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
And he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Up the middle they go. Harvey. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On third down, it's Harvey, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Here's 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a fair catch taken. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not a starting field position here as they take over. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Now back to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
Looking to throw. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. They'll drop to throw. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the 1st down.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
One word comes to mind to me after that last play, and that's alert. That defense took a chance guessing the snap count, and they were so right. Got great push up front, and that forces 4th and goal.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he gets an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And how happy is he that he's able to get that second chance so quickly after the first miss, gets his confidence back up, and who knows, they may need him for an even bigger kick later in the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
To throw is Nix. Looking middle, and that's complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll go play action with Nix. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Nix once more. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's second down.
I know we spent a lot of time talking about how the defensive backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Back to throw now on first down. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, partner, I haven't seen a vote for most popular player on the team. This guy's got to get a lot of votes. He does not care, does he? Totally unselfish, physical runner, doesn't worry about yardage, just keeps moving the chains, being a team player.
It's complete to Brown, right side. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley, and he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
The slot man in motion right. From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Back to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation. And they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey, and he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. That is caught, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down. Now it's Nix.
Eluding the press. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
To throw, here's Nix. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. Down the sideline he goes. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Here's Hurts to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. In motion right is Smith. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's got Smith here. Hook up of 15 yards there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Throwing is Hurts. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
The rookie from Oregon on target with that one. It leads to a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half. Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Here's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Throwing Nix. Escaping the pressure right. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Nix to the air. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Nix. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of cap.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Evan Ingram from 6 yards away. And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Boy, Charles, that's a great response drive from the rookie quarterback. Remember, threw the pick on the previous possession. Here, he's able to lead him down and throw it into the end zone for the touchdown.
And I know from the draft analysis that this is exactly why this team wanted to take this young man. They thought his ability to bounce back from mistakes and quickly turn them into positives, that was something they wanted on their team, and we just saw evidence of it right there. This young man doesn't let anything get to him, and he finds a way to come back big.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Second and a couple. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that, a good kick. We haven't talked about it much, but the wind is prevalent, and he drove that right into the wind.
Yeah, and don't forget the wind can swirl down there too, so being able to read it, how it's coming, left to right, right to left, and to be able to execute that kick, that's pretty darn strong right there.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. A final shot before break. Nix looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Slot man moves right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. A short throw to Ingram, and he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to the air with Nix. A short throw to Ingram, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On first down, Harvey. Oh, and now some space to operate. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Off the play fake, Nix. That is caught by Vele. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw is Nix. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out, and the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
A run on first down with Shipley. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and 7. They'll set up to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Third down and 1. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They're going to look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle but couldn't spring himself free. Saquon Barkley denied on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Denver's offense now set to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
The slot man in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
You're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. On 3rd down, it's Harvey. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down. Well, with him trailing here in the second half, maybe his legs can try to give this offense a spark.
And that's the benefit of having a young quarterback, right? Having a rookie, a guy who will say, hold it a second, I have a little bit of fearlessness to my game. It isn't working as well the other way. Let's see what I can do to help my team this way. And boy, he did it there.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Working out of the gun is Nix. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Straight ahead, Estime. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Evan Ingram, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Broncos have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. So now a big play here as the Broncos will line up to go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Well, the pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Nix. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now a handoff up the middle. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 2nd and 5. He finds his man, complete. It's Harvey. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and 3rd and 8 now. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. They'll give him 4 yards there, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Dotson in motion right. From the gun, it's Hurts. That one downfield for Dotson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
The Eagles send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now it's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. Up the middle they go. Harvey. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. To throw, here's Nix. Over the middle, complete. That's Harvey. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Harvey, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
He finds his man, complete. It's Harvey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Here's Nix. Finds his tight end Ingram. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead as that leads us to 4th. So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This to get the lead up to 4. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the 1st quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
second down. Here's Barkley again. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
And we get another look now at this Broncos offense.
Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got a lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
He completes this to Sutton. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Nix to the air.
A short throw to Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Third and 4.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harvey.
And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffer the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Philly.